What's up, guys? So it's going to be a bit longer between videos now. I just started a new job. I haven't had a job, not going to lie to you, I haven't had a job in God knows how long. I normally just get cars, wreck them out, scrap them, do whatever I have to do to get by. And yeah, I finally decided that it's time to get back out in the workforce. So it is what it is. I'm actually liking the job that I'm doing, so it's been really good. Last weekend I did actually come out to work on the car, but unfortunately we ended up like cleaning up the whole shed. It may not look like it to you guys on camera, but to us, this really needed this cleanup. This bench here was absolutely ridiculous. These benches you couldn't even see. This is where we were sorting everything out, so there is a few things on this bench now, but that bench was piled up like you couldn't even use that bench. It was ridiculous. All the stuff over here was ridiculous. You couldn't see underneath that table. Like, you can get a good bit of an image there. Dad finally fixed the hoist, as you can see. Thanks, Dad. Love ya. Put the cordie straight on. We had the cordie up on some rims and wood. So like these bits of wood here and rims to get it up off the ground because the hoist wasn't working. And my brother leant against it and it actually fell off. So yes, I can see that there's rust there, but it's definitely made a bit of a mess. Quarter is going to get chopped, I think. We're going to try and cut her sort of up along this line here and cut it right off and probably put a new one on. Other side was my first dent, which was years ago, and she's never been fixed, so there's a bit of bog missing there. It's split there, as you can see. It doesn't look to have a whole heap of rust on that, but it very well could. So needless to say, I think the old girl's going to have to get a birthday on the outside now too. So it sucks a little bit, but it is what it is. But for right now, we are fixing the fuel system. You can see I've got the fuel line pulled off. We found a whole bunch of stuff in the tank again. So I'm not quite sure where it's coming from. We think when we put either the methanol or the E85 in the tank, it's eaten the zinc coating off the bolts. So if anyone out there knows if that's true or whatever, yeah, hit us up, let us know. So what I got was a new piece of this fuel line. I'm getting rid of this fitting. I'll probably keep it because I've had it for so long, but they're just cheap fittings. And to be honest with you, look, for bang for buck, you can get like a whole kit with 5 meters of braided line, eBay. I think it's like $70, and you get like 20 fittings with it. Like, yes, okay, I understand people get a bit funny with how this is skinny and they don't look or work as good as an Aeroflow or a Speedflow, but I went and bought 1 meter of braided line Speedflow stuff and one fitting yesterday, and it was $70, $60. Like, if I was to try and do that all on this car, just here, okay, so we've got a fitting there. Sorry, it's a bit dark. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fittings. Just do the maths on that. So yeah, look, I got a job, and for speed's sake, I decided just to get it yesterday. But even me with a job, I think I'm still going to try and use the cheaper stuff on eBay because it is throwaway. you can just literally put it in, and then in a year, if you want to refresh it, everything, you just throw it away. Whereas the Speedflow stuff, you kind of just don't want to throw it away ever, because it's, it's expensive. But yeah, so today we're going to try and tackle the fuel system. I need to make up this new line. I think I'm going to have to move, sorry for not having lights, but I think I'm going to have to move the fuel pump, because I made this steel guard for it to protect it from the tyre. I think I'm going to have to move the fuel pump and extend the wires down to here, and then run the fuel filter back here, because I want to have the fuel pump being filtered like before it gets all the junk in it. So yeah, that's what we're going to try and do. I didn't bring my little tripod thing with me, so I'm going to have to try and set these up, but hopefully we can just get the fuel system done. And then tomorrow we're actually have been asked by Chrome Motorsports to come down and put the Driftina on display. So she's got to have a wash, she's got to have everything buttoned back up, I've got to adjust the clutch, everything's got to be done today. So let's get to it. All right, so I opened the shed door and it's given us a bit more light, but yeah, as you can see, I'm gonna have to move this fuel pump to about where this filter is. That's the little filter we were running, and that's the plate that I was trying to show you before in the dark. We're gonna have to extend some wires by the look of it. It's a bit hard to see, but there's some wiring there that we're gonna have to extend. And yeah, this is the one fitting, 190, and that much braided line, and that cost me $60. And I did, now if you look at this, that they're all those cheaper fittings, and that's the cheaper fuel line that looks exactly the same, and that all costs about 80 bucks, 100 bucks max. So you got to sort of weigh up, like you can't even see a lot of this stuff that's under there. It's all under the car. So I guess use proper fittings where you can see, because that's the reason I'm changing this one, because you can see it. It's right on the bum of the car. But does it need it? No. Can I do it now? Not really, but I'm gonna do it because this needs to be longer. This bit of line here needs to be longer. So that bit of line there is cheap braid. It was given to me by my cousin when I was building the car, and he was like, I don't want to put it in my car because it's cheap and I've been told bad things about it. Well, that has had methanol, E85, normal petrol, E85 and petrol blend, everything through it. It doesn't leak. There's nothing wrong with it at all, except it's a bit short. So, I mean, you be the judge. So, as per request from, can't quite remember his name, but one of the Facebook posts, someone said to me, we want to see more wrenching, show some more wrenching. So let's have a go, and we'll pull off. I've just started pulling off this line, got a bit of fuel still in it. Pull this off, and pull the fuel pump off, and we'll go from there. So that's that cheaper stuff. It still flexes, still does everything. These are a little bit notchy. They do get a bit notchy sometimes. But, I mean, without spending $1 million, it's good stuff in my opinion. Okay, so we need to hold that. Don't think I'm gonna have a spanner big enough to hold that. Right, so we might just pull this off first, which looks like 13 mil. Yep. That's wide. I'll just tighten this up. I forgot that the other day I was here and I started pulling it apart. Pulled the thread on that. Let's see if that'll. Got him. Was it pretty? Nope. Did it work? 5 bucks worth of fuel. What did I do with my rag? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's yuck. Anyway, so now that we have them removed, we can remove the 2 bolts from the bracket that I've made to fit the old fuel filter, and then the 2 bolts for the fuel pump, which now that it's off, I'm going to modify. There's a little, I'll bring these up here and show you. Look at that little headache. So this side has to be done with a spanner because of that guy. So what I think I'll do is I think we'll cut him off flush with that, so that, yeah, at least we can get a socket or something on there to undo it, or undo it all the way out. Because I think right now when you undo that, you have to have the other side done first, because when you undo it, you've actually got to wind the bracket out with it, which makes it annoying. I'll get back to you soon. Right, let's get this. That's our old fuel filter. Aeroflow, probably wicked for a street car. Probably not going to get a lot of stuff in the tank, but like I said, I think the E85 has eaten the zinc off the bolts, and that's what we're finding in my tank. So stainless steel bolts next, I believe, is what my old man reckons. He reckons get some stainless steel bolts, and they shouldn't do that. World's longest bolt. That's our little bracket that we made up. I think my old man actually just made that for me just to get through. We're trying to make power play. Okay, so now I guess we just remove these 2 wires, which is them 2. I don't know, hopefully you can see it in the video, and just undo the fuel pump. And we're going to try and move the fuel pump up to here somewhere, I think. It's going to be hard, and it's probably going to be annoying, but it's got to be done. So as you can see, we've got 1 bolt out, leaked all the fuel on the floor. And now we've got to do this pain in the bum bolt, which is, it's super long as well, so I may even just shorten this bolt up. one Aeroflow black fuel. So like I said, now I'll have to mark it all up and try and move him down to there. And then I'm going to make a new fuel filter bracket and try and mount the fuel filter down there, because I want it to go out of that into the filter, out of the filter into the pump, out of the pump up to the front. I'm also going to try and get rid of this adapted setup. I'm pretty sure I have one of those bad guys to go in that side. Should look a lot cleaner again. Do I have to? No. But while I've got it all apart, it's probably worth doing it. Alright guys, so I got it all out. As you can see, she's empty. So this is our wiring. This was my little earth that I made for the fuel pump. And then this is our power. I've just uncut it all from being on with each other. I didn't ever want... I rewired the whole car so that I didn't have to have joins, but in this case, this wire goes all the way to the front. And to redo that would take days. Like, you'd have to pull the whole wiring loom back out to get it out. So I think I'm just going to have to live with one join from here. And it's going to be somewhere in this vicinity here. So I'll just have to live with it. And then what I'll do is I'll just remake this new little earth. And yeah. So just a quick video to show the difference. I mean, there's not really a whole lot different. This end's been cut really bad, but it's just rubber with the metal braid on the outside, and that's actually the cheaper stuff. And this is the good stuff. It's literally just rubber with the braid on the outside, so I don't see the problem. But yeah. So I think I'm actually just going to use the cheaper stuff, and then when we get onto my streetcar build, I'll use the better stuff because it's the streetcar. Alright guys, so just touching back in. We made this little cool bracket because unfortunately I don't have any money at the moment to buy a bracket, but I will eventually make one, buy one. But for now, that looks pretty good. I put this fitting on, which is a new fitting that I want to run there, and then I'm toying with the idea of putting a P-clamp in there somewhat to hold all this nice and straight. Obviously holding it with one hand I can't make it sit how I want it to sit, but something like that hopefully is the end product. And then we'll move on to mounting the filter up here and start getting the fuel pump mounted again. Alright guys, so this is sort of what I come up with for the fuel bit here. It used to just be zip tied. Now the P-clamps aren't exactly the right size, but they're sort of just to hold it more uniform than anything. So hopefully that just does its job. I feel like that looks nice and clean now as opposed to zip ties and stuff on there. So it is what it is. Now we'll get on to doing this. I showed you, I think in the last clip, I made a bracket for this. So now I think I'm just going to get on to mounting that, and then we can cut this braided line. And yeah, we can just keep moving right along. Alright guys, so we managed to get, I'm a little bit unhappy about that one, but it is what it is. And we managed to get them both in there. Should be good enough. Alright guys, so I'm just touching back in. I am running out of time. It sucks, but it is what it is. I need to get it done so that I can take this to Mild to Wild Saturday. This is the fuel system we'll put back in. New filter with the bracket. New 90 on there. Down and to the new 90 on there. I've got to do a little bit of wiring. As you can see, I've started. But I think that looks really clean. Really nice and tidy. And yeah, even out here, I've made it so that it's all running really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much the fuel system. I just got to extend the wires. And move on to bolting everything else back in and check the clutch adjustment, which I've done. I've got to bolt the catch can back in, put the grill back in, put the headlight back in. Probably put 2 headlights back in for the car show type thing. But yeah, I will touch back in with you later. Alright guys, so it's now dark. Unfortunately, I just got too busy to do any more like wrenching stuff. I didn't have my tripod thing for my phone, so I just had to get into it. I've got work in the morning and it's already like 7 o'clock or something. I put the center caps in the wheels. I put the good wheels on the back. I've got some finished photos of the fuel system. Put the grill back in. Unfortunately, I don't have a headlight right now. It's feral. I'm gonna have to clean it. Catch cans in. All of these fittings are all tight. All the water lines. I've got to make this line up, but it should be fine for the car show. I think we'll just run without it. Put the air cleaner rack on it, and then tomorrow night take it to the car wash and give her a wash. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for this video, and I hope you are enjoying the content and whatever. Like I said, started a new job, so I don't know how often I'll be posting, but hopefully with a bit more money under me, I can do a bit more cool shit, go out drifting and like more drifting and more racing and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, you know how it is. Please give it a like, comment and subscribe if you're liking the content. And next video will probably be at the car show. I might throw it in on the end of this video, so we'll see how we go. Alright guys, so this video ended up being long enough, so we will put the car show one in. I'll do a little short video of it. As you can see, this is the finished photos of the fuel system. Hope you're all enjoying the content. Please consider giving us a like, a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.